What is my favorite volunteer memory of 2012?
One of the more memorable ones was back in the spring we had a properties work day, and we were doing lots of things around the campus of the church, but in particular I was struck by all the folks who were out in the Rose Garden helping Juan and Antonio down on their hands and knees break up some old broken tiles and replace them, and working very, very hard and very diligently to get all that done. So that was a really great sight to see, and it's something that really helped improve the look of the Rose Garden for sure.
One was actually at the end of last year, coming into this new year, with the Christmas Day dinners. It was just incredible to see families taking food on a time that would normally be committed to or devoted to spending time with their family.
Just very recently, one of my volunteers who is here every day, almost all day, working very, very hard, mentioned to me the other day that, I didn't work this hard when I was getting paid for it, but I like it more.
My favorite volunteer memory has to do with my stomach, actually, because I'm so grateful for Armando Monroy and the meals that he prepares on Wednesday nights, and sometimes for the new member orientation. You can always expect that there's going to be a beautiful spread of food, very well done, and the love that is put into that meal has made a big difference in the life of the church.
I'd have to say that Trunk or Treat, where all of the families were coming together from so many different areas of our church to provide a safe place for the kids to just come and have a really good time. And I think that was shown in the group picture that we took all together.
It, without a doubt, has to be when we were in Haiti this past year, and we got word from the nurse that worked in Grand Guave, Jenny, that a lady a few villages over had a life-threatening disease and was in quite a bit of pain. She could get no relief from this pain without a surgical procedure. And being no doctors that were around during that time of night, they needed somebody to do it, and our 3 nurses who were there as volunteers jumped at the opportunity, and in spite of a little bit of fear and a little bit of lack of knowledge of how to do this, they decided to look it up on YouTube. And so here we are in the middle of Haiti looking up how to do a procedure on YouTube, and our girls did it. They did the procedure, and this lady was without pain for the first time in a long time.
It was when we were having a lockdown drill. We have fire drills and tornado drills, and we've added a lockdown drill. A volunteer was at the desk that morning when we were having a drill, and so she knew what we were doing, she knew her instructions, and so she followed them very well. A sign was supposed to go up on the door that said, we're in lockdown and you cannot enter. And so she put the sign up and came back to the desk, and a minister came to the door, and she did not let him in. And that was perfect, because she wasn't supposed to let anyone in.
And Sophia, who was that minister?
Dr. Brent McDougall.
What do volunteers mean to my ministry? Well, as the minister of music, I rely heavily on a group of very dedicated and talented singers that meet every Wednesday night and lead in worship every Sunday morning. And if it weren't for them, I can't imagine what worship and what music would be like at Cliff Temple. So I'm very, very grateful for all that the choir does.
They're the living testament that the church cares for them, and more importantly, that God cares for them.
I guess you'd have to say they are absolutely necessary. Cliff Temple has approximately 60 members that are homebound, that used to be very, very active in the church, very faithful, but now they can't come anymore because they're ill or aged or infirm, or some reason they can't come. And our volunteers do a great job of visiting these homebound members and making them feel like they're still of value. One of the big lines that keeps going, threads that keeps going through, is the thread of loneliness. They seem to be really lonely, and the fear of being forgotten. But our homebound volunteers do a great job of making them feel like, no, well, we do love you. We have not forgotten you. You're still very important.
The deacons are volunteers, the ushers are volunteers. I have volunteers for Sunday school. I have volunteers for evangelism. For every part of our ministry in Spanish includes volunteer work. So it is a important, very important. We would say in Spanish, importantísimo.
One of our members who's the volunteer of volunteers to open his home every month to fix a meal for our prospects and thus make our appeal to them very personal and delicious.
There's no way I could minister or teach 50 children. And so volunteers really make that possible to make a difference in the kids' lives.
We would not be able to do what we do. There's no way I or our staff could do it. We are totally reliant upon people giving their time and their energy and their resources and their love.
All the volunteers that come to Cliff Temple, they mean a lot for the church, especially for my department where we need a lot of volunteers around the building. I don't have words to tell thank you all the volunteers that come here and work, don't matter where.
Volunteers help to keep the church operating. All the different ministries that happen here during the week couldn't take place without youth volunteers, children's volunteers, Goslin Opportunity Center through Cliff Temple.
They are committed,
energetic,
loyal,
above all, patient.
wonderful.
Well, Wes asked for 3 to 5 words to describe volunteers here at Cliff Temple. It really just takes one. Priceless.
Servers.
They're saints, absolute saints.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.